everybody. And first of all, I would like to thank our principal, sir, Dr. Acharya Sukumar Mukherjee, for giving me this opportunity so that I can organize this webinar. And before we say some things about feminism, because we already have our main speaker with us, should speak about feminism, how it started and how it is progressing day by day, right? I would like to say a few words about her. Just a small introduction, maybe. She is an assistant professor in the Department of English in the School of Liberal Arts, yes, Liberal Arts, KIIT University, Bhubaneswar.
This is Department of Humanities, School of Liberal Studies.
Okay, I'm sorry, extremely sorry. Okay, she is pursuing her PhD in English from NIT Rourkela. She has presented multiple papers in India and abroad, and she has published several research papers in prestigious Scopus Index and UGC Care listed journals. So, without much ado, I would like to welcome her and Rupali, stage Tatuma, and do whatever you want to say. Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay.
You are completely audible.
Okay. So, first of all, good evening to all of you present here, dear colleagues and my dear students. First of all, I would like to convey my thanks to Ram Prasad for giving me this opportunity, as well as I also like to thank Acharya Sukumar Sen Mahavidyalaya for giving me this opportunity to speak something about feminism. So let's begin. Which I feel before starting this lecture or before preparing, I thought that we all know, somehow we all know about feminism, but still there is some misconceptions and Ram Prasad, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you share my slides?
Just a minute. Okay. I haven't yet. You can also share your slides.
Yeah, otherwise I can.
Yes, you can share your slides.
Okay. Just give me 2 minutes.
যদি রেকর্ড যদি তুমি না পারো দেন আই শেয়ার।
ঠিক আছে, 8 মিনিট। Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, this is the outline of today's discussion. We will discuss certain things regarding feminism. First, I would like to focus on the certain myths regarding feminism. Then we will come to the working definition of feminism. Then we will talk about how to map its origin and its evolution. Then we will discuss how we should understand gender, because gender, feminism, patriarchy, very, very intrinsically connected. So then we will move to the emergence of feminist ideology or philosophy, different waves of feminism, and next we will discuss different phases of feminist writing, and next gynocriticism. Then we will discuss understanding patriarchy and Indian feminists, and last we would like to conclude this talk by Kamala Bessins, as we all know that she is a very powerful feminist, activist, social worker. So let's start with that misconception first. Then we will move to the working definition. there are some misconceptions regarding this feminism. Actually, feminism, it means that misandry. As you know, misandry, that is hatred for men. And also sometimes it is said that feminism is singular. That means all feminists are same. Sometimes we say that it's about white women's issue, and sometimes we say that feminism is a Western concept and the like. So let's debunk this myth and destabilize the negative approach first and try to fix it with a positive note on feminism that as a theoretical category. So come to the point, feminism and patriarchy. There is an intrinsic tie between feminism and patriarchy. So, patriarchy is ubiquitous. Uh, it governs all aspects of life. Similarly, feminist resistance of it is also ubiquitous. So, if we observe critically on this matter, we get to understand that the pervasiveness of feminism is itself nuanced, or you can say problematic. If feminism is imbued in our daily lives, which is categorized by patriarchy, then how do we conceptualize this ideology? How do we map the origin of it? How do we locate its history? So, to address such kind of questions, I would like to quote Chris Wigen, one of the feminist critics. See, in her Feminist Practice and Post-Structuralist Theory, which was published in 1987, she states feminism is a politics. It is a politics directed at changing existing power relations between women and men in society. After my few slides, when we will discuss what is the connection between feminism and patriarchy, then we come to the point that actually feminism is not about the against, not about the fight between two sexes, not about the only not about its about for equality. It's about to end the sexism. We will talk about after few slides. So then we can see that she states the determine who does and what for whom, and we are and what we might become. So this is kind of working definition and very much popular in recent times. But though Chris, we don't the definition a bit problematic to understand, but if we follow the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, it is very much lucid to understand, because here feminism is presented as a movement, a criticism, as a theory. So feminism can be understood as not only a social movement but also a set of beliefs, concepts, and theories that seek to analyze, diagnose, and identify solutions to the manifold injustice that people suffer on account of norms. So this is the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, the definition from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. So far you can understand that the feminism actually it aims to end sexism. As you know, sexism, that is the discrimination based on sex. Of course, it talks about equality, but side by side, it also aims to end patriarchic injustice, oppression. So gradually, we will understand its development, its feminist philosophy. We will talk about it. So next, come to the understanding gender. So as we know, gender is very, very, very common in this discussion. So we all know that gender is socially constructed, whereas sex is biological. And we all know that gender is used as a socio-political tool of exclusion and oppression. You know that. So the next thing is, I would like to say that in the words of in the words of Wheaton, that we may state that we need a theory which can explain how and why people oppress each other, a theory of subjectivity. So basically, to understand feminism and its oppression, we should understand why we should oppress each other, why people oppress each other. That is a very crucial thing we need to understand the core of feminism. So we should also understand that there was already previously a knowledge system, and this knowledge system is male dominated. So if you try to locate the origin of feminism and how the feminist philosophy evolved, or how the feminist philosophy developed, then you can understand that when the feminists, the women understand that previous knowledge system is male dominated, and we the female are not included in that male dominated knowledge system, so you can easily understand that half of the population is excluded from that knowledge system. Actually, they are strategically excluded. They are very much consciously silenced. There is no voice of feminist in that previous knowledge system. So this is actually the starting point of feminism, you can say. When we understand that there is no place for, we are not located, we are not heard, we are not understood. So that time a vacuum is created, and we understand that vacuum. So the next thing is, see, feminism, it's an ideology as well as movement. So we need to understand that ideology part and movement part both are interconnected, because the base of the movement is actually ideology, and in the later phase we can understand, we will get to know that there are multiple forms of feminism. So that's why feminism is not singular, it's not monolithic, it's a plural concept. So, and you understand that each feminism actually address a certain particular philosophy. So in that way, we can say that the feminist ideology can be developed, feminist ideology can be constructed. Come to the next slide. See, the thing, as I told you, feminism is not only limited to socio-political discussions, rather its purview is extended to judicial domain, scientific domain, environment domain, and so on. So that's why I'm telling that feminism is pluralistic. As you know, in recent time we have Marxist feminism, liberal feminism, radical feminism, black feminism, ecofeminism, and so on. But before that, I would like to take you to the origin of the concept, or you can say ideology or philosophy. So, as you know, in 1895, we can have the first print of this particular term feminism in a magazine, that is Athenium. So, as you know, feminism, the origin of the term that feminism, it's from femina. It's a Latin word that suggests women or female. So you can say this is one kind of origin of this concept. Now let's move to the different waves. This is actually the development of the theory, the how actually we have this multiple feminism. At initial stage, when the movement starts, as we know that feminism is a kind of socio-political movement to end oppression.
Rupali, sorry to interrupt you. Are you changing the slides right now, or you are on the second slide?
I am changing the slides, but it's not visible.
It's not happening.
Oh my God! I am changing many slides so far. Just a minute.
Now yes, now it is visible. Yes.
ওকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি ওই এটা বড় করে দিয়েছিলাম, তো তাই জন্য বোধহয়। ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমি তো এগুলো সব একটু আগে একটু বলে দিলে হতো যাকে। Okay, so we were talking about feminism and its pluralism, and then we discussed, is it visible now? Is it changing? Slides are moving?
Yes.
Okay.
Complete.
Yeah. So, yes. yes, this is the origin which I just now finished this slide. Then we actually come to the different waves. So these waves are very important. As you know, we have talked about a little bit about the development of the feminist philosophy, the feminist ideology. So you can see now in 21st century we can have multiple feminisms, as Kamala Basin says that my feminism. So she pointed that my feminism may be different from your feminism. So feminism, you cannot limit feminism within one perimeter. So but the beginning, the initial times, it's very much singular, it's very much monolithic. So you should understand that how the development happens, the evolution happens. So actually it's a very evolving concept. When we discuss different waves and different phases of feminist writing, we can understand how this evolution happens. So first there was first wave, as we know that it happened early 20 the time period, that early 20th century. Actually the first waves, it is about women's suffragette movement. That time, as you know, especially here we are talking about feminism in Europe, feminism in America, especially we are talking about white women. So the beginning was like this, in this way. That time, during 20th century, the third world feminism, it is not identified, it is not recognized. So what we are talking about now, the first wave feminism, of course it's about the western feminism, you can say the white women's feminism. So as we know, the first wave is about women's suffragette movements. That time women are actually looking for voting rights, looking for political rights. They should have that voting rights, political rights, so that they understand that if they receive this kind of right, they can end the oppression which they are suffering from the patriarchy. They know, so that's why their only focus was for the political rights, or you can say voting rights. So first wave of feminism, it is very much limited in that way and very much linear. It's not plural, it's not multifarious, it's not diverse. It's the track is very, you can track the development of first wave feminism. After that, when we reach in the second wave feminism, that is during 1960s, the interesting thing is when the women in the first phase, they started thinking about that we are fulfilling everything, household duties, we are becoming women, we are becoming housewives, we are becoming mothers, but still after that we are not happy. So that part, that why we are not so happy, so that part, led them to the next level, like second wave feminism. So second wave feminism is about women's identity. So you can say the very category of women is identified in second wave feminism. In that way, we have so many names, the famous names like Simone de Weber, whose famous text is whose famous volume is The Second Sex, and we all know the famous quotation that one is not born a woman, rather one becomes. So we all know this particular quotation, and we also know the background of this. In second wave feminism, women became conscious about their existence. Actually, you can understand that in this particular feminism, a specific female consciousness is created. A specific female consciousness is developed inside women. So that's why this is different from the first wave feminism, which is only talking about political rights, only talking about suffragette rights. But the second wave, it's about female consciousness, the sense of female consciousness is located in second wave feminism. It's about education. If you talk about education, if you talk about academia, so we can understand that they are trying for their own space, own identity. So we have so many feminist authors in the second wave. You can we have Virginia Woolf also, we have Simone de Beauvoir also, we have Betty Frida also, whose Mystic Feminine is very famous. So actually they are talking about their own consciousness, their own identity, and somehow they understand that their sensibility cannot be understood by male authors, or they understand that they are not properly represented in their male counterparts. I mean, in the male authors writing, they are not actually represented. They are highly underrepresented, or they are completely silenced. So from that vacuum, they wanted to create a separate domain for them, a separate cocoon for them to create their own identity. So that is about the second wave feminism. So, but second wave feminism is also highly criticized by the critic. As you know, the critic, they said that it's about white women, as well as it's about women who belong to the upper class. It's about upper class Manhattan women. It's not about black women. It's not about Dalit women. It's not about gendered women, like gender fluidity women. So you can see, though second wave feminism, it talks about women in academia, the introduction of women author, the introduction of women writing, but still it is not beyond criticism. It is one kind of monolithic, because it is entirely revolve around the white women, not the black women, not the third women, not the other women. So that's why from that point of view, second wave feminism is highly condemned. Out of this, then we have the third wave feminism. It's you can say it's a post feminism. The third wave, this part is before discussing this third wave feminism, I would like to introduce you the different feminist writing, different phases of feminist writing, which comes under this second wave of feminism. So there was another very famous author, feminist author. Her name is Ellen Sowalter. If you read Sowalter, you can understand how Sowalter expressed, tried to establish a female cocoon, a female writing, a female audience, as well as a female subject through her through her understanding of feminism. So she actually proposes three phases. See, these are the phases you can see. The first one is feminine phases. As you can see, the time period, it's 1840 to 1880s. So the feminine phases is not so significant. As you know, it's about the female authors. You can have the name of Elizabeth Gaskell, or you can have the name of George Eliot also, Elizabeth Gaskell. So what they tried to imitate their male counterpart. In feminine phase, we have seen that the authors like Elizabeth Gaskell and her contemporaries, they have their pseudonyms, not their real names, and because they have to do that, otherwise they are afraid that their writing won't be published. If they are identified as women, they may be condemned in society. So kind of they are afraid of societal like psychological trauma or psychological violence. Like they are actually not comfortable with this situation. So that's why they are like they need these pseudonyms to publish their own writing. So this is about the feminine phase. There is no originality in feminist film because they actually imitate their male authors. So after that we have feminist phases. The time period you can say this, you can see this 1880 to 1890. So there this phase is important because in feminist phase there is a certain change from the feminine phase, or you can say feminine phase. You can say this is a response or reaction to the sorry, yes, you can say in the feminist phase this is a reaction or response to the feminine phase. So this is not very much imitative. The author, the female author, they started their writing. They started to be understood as they start to experience their female consciousness. They try to be understood as a women. So the feminist phase is little bit different from feminine phase, as you can see. So here they actually oppose the male concept that how women are represented in male writing. Kind of binary, there is a kind of binary that either good or women, good or evil, or either virgin or vote. So they actually try to dismantle this binary. They actually understand that it's not the proper way, the authentic way to represent women. But if the women are represented by the male authors, it's not a proper way. So they actually start reacting against this feminine phase. So this is about feminist phase. The next phase, that is female phase, this is very, very important uh, because this phase is totally creative, you can say totally independent. It is not dependent on the previous one. Like in this phase, the feminist authors try to create a separate canon, separate female canon. So that is completely different from male canon. So far our traditional canon, so far guided by the male authors, or you can say patriarchy. So free from patriarchy, they want to create a separate female canon, totally understood by female authors, female experience, female consciousness, female ethos and sensibilities were represented in this female. So this is in this actually the new voices are coming out in this female phase. You can say there are the plurality of voices, the voices which are so far not heard, so far which are not heard, which are not recognized. We can recognize this voice, we can hear this voice in this female phase. So female phase is very much distinct and very much creative also, because it creates a new domain, it creates a new field, new canon for feminist authors. So there was another term, that is gynocriticism by Ellen Sowelter. To actually to gynocriticism, it's about a feminist writing, written by women, for women, by women. So entirely that is entirely guided by women. So this is about the female phase. Next come to the understanding patriarchy. As I told you, when we talk about feminism and patriarchy are very much intrinsically connected. So you cannot imagine one without other. So to understand feminism, you need to understand patriarchy. See, why I quote this understanding patriarchy, because this is a very, very famous essay by Bell Hooks. As you know, as you have heard the name Bell Hooks, one of an eminent feminist. So Bell Hooks defines patriarchy as a single most life-threatening social disease assaulting the male body and spirit in our nation. So you can understand the we can get a novel idea of patriarchy after reading Bell Hooks' essay Understanding Patriarchy, because Bell Hooks actually presented a patriarchy in a different manner, in a patriarchy in an alternative manner. She tells that not only females are affected but also males are affected, because in patriarchy we are taught that how to perform, I mean, if there is a girl, uh, uh, she has to be understand that there are certain norms and she cannot exceed those norms. If there are boys, they have to understand that if there are certain norms for boys or males, they cannot exceed. So patriarchy is just a kind of benchmark, or you can say a benchmark for oppression also, that actually brings only darkness, injustice, violence to society. But the most important thing is patriarchy actually affects both the gender. The existing, or you can say the stereotype idea is that the female are actually oppressed by patriarchy. But this is not the whole truth. The truth is identified by Bell Hooks, that males are also the victims of patriarchy. That the stereotype idea is that males are the perpetrator of patriarchy and females are the victims of patriarchy. That it has been taught that females should be docile, females should be submissive, whereas men should be kind of machoistic or masculinity. So there are certain boundaries already fixed for males and for females, certain norms. You can understand this concept in the term in the context of color codes also, as we know that if there is a color like pink, that pink is meant for women. So this is the example of the patriarchy, the negativity of patriarchy, or you can say the injustice, the violence of patriarchy, that pink is only limited for women, only women can wear this color. If you can say that blue is for women, why girls can wear blue? No, this is actually the result of patriarchy, and which we are suffering from, and you can say this is the oppression of patriarchy. So so that's why I can say that the feminism can be understood through patriarchy, and once you end this patriarchy, only then you can understand that the equality, the concept of equality can be achieved. Another thing you can say about patriarchy, that you can say in case of in our culture, we have seen that in case of games, that girls can only play with these games. Boys can fight, boys can play with guns, while girls can play with dolls. So this gendered idea is also the product of patriarchy. So there are multiple examples you can find which can be the outcome of patriarchy. And the most surprising things are they also believe in patriarchy, because they think that this is the right thing for them, that they should be docile, they should be submissive, and they actually teach their children the same thing. In case of single parent, we have also seen the concept of absent father, that is sometimes more present than absent. Though father is not there, the mother who plays the role of father is becoming more visible, and this is, you can say, one kind of the result of patriarchy also. So in our day-to-day life, you can see that there are numerous examples where we consciously or unconsciously support patriarchy. Somehow we know that if we exceed that certain limits, certain boundaries, we may be uh, condemned. There are two options. One is reward, and another one is condemn. So if I violate the norms, if I violate the rules, so I may be condemned. So this fear is also the patriarchal fear, you can see. So we need to understand some textual point of view as well as some experiential point of view to understand, to decode patriarchy and to go against patriarchy, or you can say to go beyond patriarchy. So next, then come to the some Indian feminists. See, if we discuss about the third wave feminism, the third wave, it's about post feminism. As you know, this post feminism is a very plural in concept, because during 1990s lot of theories are emerged in this feminist concept. So for instance, you can say that post-colonial theories that talks about the oppression, the concept of other, the colonial, the colonized. So in case of third wave feminism, as I told just immediately, I just told that it is a combination of so many theories, like post-colonial theories, you can say, like post-structuralism, post-modernism. So you know, that's why third wave feminism is very much in a kind of alternative way of representation. That is, that's why we have that radical feminism, that black feminism, that ecofeminism. So feminism in its multiple ways. So this is the the feature of third wave feminism. So that's why this particular line, feminism is an evolving concept. It is not static. Always the dimension of feminism in changing from one standpoint to the other standpoint. The way, as I already told it, it starts with in a very linear way, very monolithic way. But now we have feminisms, not feminism. We have so many feminisms. That's why I will come to the point of Kamla Basin, as she suggests that my feminism is different from your feminism. So say these are the few names which I suggested. I know there are a lot of Indian feminists also, but I just suggested few names like Savitribai Phule, Pandita Rama Devi, Rasa Sundari Devi. The interesting is they actually don't know about feminism, but they are actually, that time feminism was not so popular as the time we are learning. But the thing is, that time their work, their ideology, their understanding that women should be recognized, women voice should be heard. So these kind of understanding made them their writing as a feminist writing, and they made them the feminist the author. So these are the few names: Sarojini Naidu, Radha Kumar, and Malavika Karlekar. So there is Radha Kumar, whose history of doing. In this book, she actually categorized feminist authors in two ways, like pre-independent feminism and post-independent feminism. Rasa Sundari Devi also in Amar Jivan talks about the female oppression, subjugation. So we can have lot of examples in Indian feminism. There is also Rokia Begum also, and Pandita Ramabai also. So these are the few names I just listed here. Though there are so many names which I missed here. Next, I would like to come to the end of our lecture. That is, I would like to talk about few things about Kamla Basin. This quotation actually it draws my attention that my feminism like a torch to fight against the darkness of patriarchy. My feminism is not western, it's local as well as global, because patriarchy is global, injustice is global, violence is global. So this actually this conversation where I get it from TEDx, which was published in 19. Actually, Kamala Basin was interviewed on 19 March 2017, where where she started her lecture with the the first line that I am a feminist, but I do not hate men. You can remember I started my lecture that the myth regarding feminism is it's about misandry, that hatred for men. So here just similarly, Kamala Basin said that I am a feminist, but I do not hate men or women who are not feminist. So the way Basin understands feminism is really outstanding. A very in a brilliant way. She decodes actually the feminism, what feminism is. That's why she tells that my feminism is different from your feminism. She actually understands the plurality of feminism. Though she tells that it is local as well as global. Why it is local? Because it actually addresses the local issues like sati, like you can say the dowry in our country, that is called porn protha. So you know, these are actually the local phenomena, the local problems, local issues, as well as also global, because it talks about injustice, it talks about violence, which is actually global. So that is the way that is we can understand that this way Basin actually uh, understands feminism, and in a very well knit way she represents feminism. She invites her friends and colleagues to understand feminism in a very flexible way. Feminism should not be in a static way, it should be dynamic, it should be flexible. That's why so far today is also the concept is changing, and it will be changing in future. So I think I had already finished my part, so I would like to stop it. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Rupali. It was a fantastic lecture, I must say, and I'm sure that people.
Can you please stop this? I just a minute. I can't see the screen. Just a minute.
Okay.
Let me come to the screen. I could not see. Yeah, now I get it. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Rupali. It was a fantastic lecture, and I am sure that people here have learned a lot from this lecture, and I'll try to continue this legacy of meeting people. I mean, calling people out, so that they can deliver and enrich us with their knowledge and all. And এটা চলবে হয়তো, but it starts with a lady, because we are dealing with feminism, and what better to understand feminism.
No. Actually, I have a objection here. যেটা বললে starts with lady. Uh, uh, we should go beyond that idea, because you know feminism is, that's why Kamala Basin said feminism is for all. It's not
No.
for women.
Yes, I understand. Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But my idea is how the occupation of women happened, and let's hear it from them. And I have seen in multiple, seminars and multiple webinars where people like all the representatives of the patriarchy, they are present there. Men, so-called men are present there, and without any women. And it's about feminism, it's about women oppression, it's about equal rights and all. So what about their voices, what about their oppression? So I'm just telling you out things in a very what elastic way. So I know that people here would understand what you have said, and I agree that it's not only about women, it's about male also, it's about male issues, because we also are, male are also the victims of
I just would like to add just one thing here. See, it's about equality. See, if we have 5 fingers, I would like to quote Kamala Basin, because like that lecture very much, and I think that this is very much appropriate for our discussion. If we have five fingers and there are various sizes of fingers, but we need all five fingers. So actually, there is the difference is there, but still we need equally all of our fingers. So actually, though male female both are different on certain aspect, but we still need that equality. Maybe differences that the sense difference should be acceptable on their own way with equality. So that is my point.
Yes, Pritesh Chakravarti has made a fantastic point. He has said that it is more about equity than equality. So, what is your approach to it?
What is the question?
No, it is not a question. Remark.
Okay.
He says that I guess it's about equity. By the way, Pritesh Chakravarti is, the former head of the department where I'm working right now. So, he's there.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your very kind of insightful questions. And so you said that it's not about equity. It's not about equality. It's about equity. Am I correct, sir?
Yes. You, of course, you are the expert. But what the update, if we wish to say it that way, might be that what you are saying is absolutely correct, that it's about equalities of opportunities, which constitutes the idea of equity. That when Ram said that the lectures began with a woman, since we are doing feminism, since we are understanding feminism, I guess it's like you got the opportunity, which levels the field. That's what I was trying to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just an observation. It's not a question.
Yeah. Of course, sir. I agree with your point, and that's why I told it, no, sir. The concept of feminism is itself evolving. Today, the way I understand feminism, tomorrow maybe I understand it in a little bit different manner. So that's why I totally agree with your point. It's more than equity than equality. Yeah, I agree with your point.
Okay, let's go beyond this, understanding of feminism and understanding of male and female, because we have multiple genders and sexes right now. We're dealing with LGBTQ issues and their rights and all. We'll discuss this later, maybe, but let's have a look at the questions that we have right now. Ashish Ghatok, who is a 6th sem student, he says that two feminists hate men, which is a very pertinent question. People are like, people ask this question very often. So, what is your approach to it?
Okay, I can see a few questions.
First one is, do feminists hate men?
Okay, I already addressed this point, that feminism is not about misandry. I started my lecture with this, that this is a kind, you can say it's a myth, that feminism is feminist hate men. No, not at all. Actually, feminists want to end the sexist behavior. The sexist behavior, that means discrimination based on sex. So any kind of oppression, any kind of subjugation, they actually want to end of it. So it's not about hating men. So no, this is not.
Okay. The second question is from him also. He says that, yes, please read it.
Can feminism and tradition coexist, or are they fundamentally opposed? Again, I would like to say the same thing, that the feminism is an evolving concept. So while we frame it that feminism and tradition coexist, that means we limit feminism with certain dimensions. With time passing, we have the plurality, we have the multiple versions of feminism. So tradition, in the previous, initial stages, there were certain traditions, certain stereotypes, but as we proceed towards 21st century, so now somehow we proceed far from that tradition. So next, the question: does a feminist have to be female? Not at all. That's why I lecture with Kamla Basin. The feminism is for all. A man can be feminist, as well as a female can be feminist. To become a feminist, you need not to be female. It's about a understanding. It's about a behavior to understand about oppression which patriarchy begins. So that's why there is not any mandatory rule that to talk about feminism, to be feminist, you have to be female. Is it clear, Srijita? It's a good question.
Srijita, bolo.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, আমি কি বোঝাতে পেরেছি, বুঝতে পেরেছো?
Yes.
Okay, so come to the next question. Disha Konar from I'm very happy to have this kind of questions, that students are asking this kind of questions. So it's really, I feel very happy that at least they are thinking something about feminism. So that's why they are with those kind of questions. So yeah, it's really impressive. Does a feminist have to be? Yeah, next we have to know about Taslima Nasrin. This is very much controversial. What kind of perspective you would like to know about Taslima? Can you say?
Disha, please unmute yourself and say a few words about Taslima Nasrin and how do you approach Taslima Nasrin?
ম্যাম অ্যাজ আ ফেমিনিস্ট হিসেবে মানে আপনি যদি তার বিষয়ে কিছু বলেন, মানে সেই
তসলিমা নাসরিন যেটা বলছো ফেমিনিস্ট হিসেবে, তো তসলিমা নাসরিন ইজ আ প্রোডাক্ট অফ থার্ড ওয়ার্ল্ড ফেমিনিজম, or you can say third wave feminism. So of course there may be some difference, there must be some difference from the second wave, because so far as I understand Nasrin, Taslima Nasrin, she is her writing career, her professional life as well as her personal life is very much in controversy. So because she is very much bold while she is presenting the female issues, sometimes you can say, you can term her as a radical feminist also. And being in a Muslim country, she still doesn't she is not afraid to talk about against patriarchy, the Maulabad. So Taslima Nasrin একজন খুবই kind of bold author, bold in the sense she is not afraid to that patriarchy, the male society, the patriarchy also. So this way you can study Taslima Nasrin as a alternative approach also. Is it clear? মানে বুঝতে পেরেছো যেটা বলতে চেয়েছি?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So does feminism empower men too, or is it only about women's writing? Okay, this is also a good question. Feminism, see, as I told you, feminism is a combination of a movement. Feminism is a combination of movement, ideology, belief. Also, when it comes to movement, it's not about only limited to women. It's about oppression. Any kind of oppression is going on. That's why we talk about the patriarchy and the victims of patriarchy. We talk about the male victims of patriarchy. So it's not about women's right when we talk about feminist as a movement. But what feminist as an ideology, feminist as a belief, that may be related somehow to only that begin with females' right. Ramprasad, am I correct? What do you believe here?
No, I also believe that yes. As I have said that men are also the victims of this patriarchy.
Exactly.
Because of that, if I'm a man, I cannot cry. If I'm a man, I cannot use perfume, which is actually written that it is only for women.
Exactly.
Perfume দেখেছি যেগুলো womenদের জন্য। Why there should be any kind of discrimination?
Exactly. I forget to give that example. Exactly. It's a good example. So, yeah. So, of course, it's not only about women's, because when we talk about oppression, when we talk about the vulnerability, male are also vulnerable. That point we need to understand. Male are also vulnerable in this, in patriarchy. So, এটা কি বোঝানো গেল? Ashish Ghatak.
Ashish, are you there? শুনতে পাচ্ছ? Ashish probably is not there.
Okay, no issue. Then
Let's
how
come to
does
next
feminism?
question.
How many questions are there? Yes. What was?
How does feminism address the struggles of women from different cultural backgrounds?
Okay, this is you can understand. I think I already explained it in my lectures because earlier though it started with the Western feminism, but if we talk about third world feminism, black feminism, though 1 hour is very limited to expand feminism. If you start only the beginning can be done. After that, it's there are lots of issues. I hardly touch a few things within this stipulated time. So yeah, of course, feminism, there are different cultural backgrounds also, and their struggles, the pattern of struggles also different because of their background, their culture. As I told you that second wave feminism is very much monolithic because it is limited to Western feminism. It talks about Manhattan females, upper class females, middle class females, not about lower class females. So of course, this cultural background varies for this question.
Okay, another question is probably from Yogesh, who is also a 6th sem student. He says that if feminism fights for gender equality, why do some feminists argue that men and women should be treated the same, while others say that their differences should be recognized? Can real equality exist if we focus on gender differences, or does that just keep inequality alive? Which is a very, very interesting question.
Exactly. Who raised this question?
I'm surprised.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking which manner I should address this question. Let me read once again. Yes, sir. Would you like to say something?
Yes,
Pritesh sir,
yes, I guess this. I mean, I am not trying to answer for you, but I guess what Jogesh is has missed that what you already said, that it's not about gender equality. The word equality is redundant now.
Exactly.
Feminism is not looking for gender equality.
Exactly.
Feminism is not saying that men and women should be equal.
Exactly.
What they are saying is that there should be equalities of opportunities, and the differences must not be exploited, or they must not be used or weaponized against each other. I think that is what feminism is trying to
yes, sir.
say.
Absolutely, absolutely, sir. Exactly. It's not about equality, but exactly equality for opportunity. Exactly as you suggested, and I also told that feminism seeks to end the sexism, the sexist behavior. So, though it started with a view that of equality, but now as it is an evolving concept, we actually came far from that initial idea that about equality.
Yes, actually, অঙ্কিতা বলছে যে এই কোয়েশ্চেনটা যদি বাংলায় কোনোভাবে ট্রান্সলেট করে দেওয়া যায় তাহলে it would be better, and যদি আনসারটাও বাংলায় হয় তাহলে খুব ভালো হয়।
কোন কোশ্চেনটা? এই
যোগেশের কোয়েশ্চেনটা।
Okay, I am trying.
I mean, you can answer the question in Bengal.
হ্যাঁ, আমি চেষ্টা করছি। মানে হ্যাঁ, যেটা বলা হচ্ছে যে ইকুয়ালিটি, ফেমিনিজম শুধুমাত্র ইকুয়ালিটির কথা বলছে না, ইকুয়ালিটি জেন্ডার বেসড ইকুয়ালিটির কথা বলছে না। ফেমিনিজম বলছে যে যেটা স্যার বললেন, প্রীতেশ স্যার যেটা বললেন, যে ইকুয়াল অপরচুনিটি, মানে ওয়ার্ক স্পেসে কাজের জগতে সমানভাবে সমান ওয়ার্ক স্পেসের সমান সেই অপরচুনিটিটা, সেটা ইকুয়াল। বাট মেল অ্যান্ড ফিমেল আর ইকুয়াল, এটা সম্ভব এই কথা ফেমিনিজম সেই অর্থে বলছে না। কারণ দ্যাটস ওয়াই যখন আমরা ওয়েবগুলো পড়ছি সেখানে আমরা দেখছি যে যে থার্ড ওয়েবে ফেমিনিস্টরা একটা আলাদা সেপারেট কোপন চাচ্ছে। তারা এটা বলছে যে তাদের পয়েন্টস অফ ভিউগুলো বোঝা যাবে না, মেল অথাররা বুঝতে পারবে না তাদের এক্সপিরিয়েন্স, যদি না সে ওমেন হয় ফিমেল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স বোঝা যাবে না। তো এটা একটা আলাদা পয়েন্ট অফ ভিউ। সো এই যে মানে ইকুয়ালিটির কনসেপ্টটা, এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি ফেমিনিজম এটাকে অ্যাড্রেস এখন করছে না। কারণ ইকুয়ালিটি যদিও বা করা হয় সেটা ওই অপরচুনিটি ওয়াইজ সেই অর্থে, বাট ফেমিনিজম যেটা বলছে যে জেন্ডার বেসিসে যেই অপারেশন, যেই মানে কি বলবো ডিসক্রিমিনেশন, সেইগুলোকে শেষ করতে হবে। একটা যে শোষণ চলছে, সে যেই হোক স্ট্যাচুয়ারকে জন্য যে শোষণটা হচ্ছে, পুরুষতান্ত্রিক সমাজে বাস করার ফলে আমরা যে শোষিত হচ্ছি, সেই শোষণ, সেই অপমান, সেই লাঞ্ছনার একটা অবসান, সেটাই হচ্ছে ফেমিনিজমের অবজেক্টিভ। বোঝাতে পারলাম বাংলায়?
হ্যাঁ, একদম ঠিক। আমার মনে হয় এখানে আর কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকা উচিত নয়। অ্যান্ড লেটস মুভ ফরওয়ার্ড। পরের জায়গায় আসি। পল্লবী জিজ্ঞাসা করছে যে প্লিজ ম্যাম থার্ড ওয়েভ পয়েন্টটা আরেকবার ডিসকাস করলে ভালো হয়।
আচ্ছা, থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজমটা ডিসকাস করতে বলছে, তাই তো? দেখো থার্ড ওয়েভ, আচ্ছা কিছু বাংলায় বললে সুবিধা হবে। দেখো থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজমটা সবার থেকে আলাদাভাবে আমি ক্যাটেগরাইজ করছি, তার কারণ থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজমে এই যে প্লুরালিটির যে কনসেপ্টটা, এই যে মাল্টিপ্লিসিটির যে কনসেপ্টটা কিন্তু খুব ভালোভাবে রেকগনাইজ করা হয়েছে থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজমে। ইফ ইউ সি যে সেকেন্ড ওয়েভের এক ধাপ এগিয়ে, ওই প্রজেক্টটাকে এক ধাপ এগিয়ে গিয়েছে থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজম হচ্ছে। মানে যখন সেকেন্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজমটা শেষ হচ্ছে, যে উইমেনদেরকে ঠিকঠাক ভাবে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করা হচ্ছে না মেল ডমিনেটেড রাইটিং জোনে, যারা মেল অথার তারা উইমেন এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটাকে ঠিক করে বুঝতে পারছে না, তাই উইমেনদের কথা ঠিকভাবে, উইমেনদের ঠিকভাবে মানে রিপ্রেজেন্টেড হচ্ছে না। এটা ছিল মেন সেকেন্ড ওয়েভের কথা। কিন্তু থার্ড ওয়েভ ওখান থেকে বেরিয়ে গিয়ে বলছে এভাবে হবে না, আমাদের আলাদা একটা সেপারেট ক্যানন দরকার, একটা সেপারেট কোপন দরকার, যেটা মেল অথার থাকবে, যেটা ফিমেল অথার থাকবে, ফিমেলদের নিয়ে লেখা হবে, ফিমেল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স নিয়ে লেখা হবে, কমপ্লিটলি governed by the feminist way of feminist understanding। সেই জন্য থার্ড ওয়েভ, তার কারণ হচ্ছে ওই সময় যখন তুমি দেখো, সময়টা যদি দেখো 1990s এর 80s 90s এর ওই সময়টা দেখো, তখন দেখবে অন্যান্য থিওরিও চলে আসছে, পোস্ট কলোনিয়ালিজম চলে আসছে, সব থেকে বেশি ইনফ্লুয়েন্স হচ্ছে পোস্ট কলোনিয়ালিজমের থেকে, মার্কসিজম থেকে, প্লাস পোস্ট স্ট্রাকচারালিস্ট থেকে, যে যারা বিশেষ করে টেক্সটের উপর জোর দিচ্ছে। যদি তুমি বলো পোস্ট কলোনিয়ালিজম, তারা এই যে আদার, সেলফ আদারের যে বাইনারিটাকে, ঠিক এক্ষেত্রে এই সেলফ আদারের যে বাইনারির কনসেপ্টটা, মানে কলোনাইজড আর মানে কলোনাইজার আর কলোনাইজদের যে একটা মানে হায়ারার্কি তৈরি হচ্ছে, সেই হায়ারার্কিটা ঠিক সিমিলার মেন আর ওয়েমের যে হায়ারার্কি তৈরি হচ্ছে। তো সামহাও মানে থার্ড ওয়েভের ফেমিনিজমরা তারা ওই থিওরি থেকে ইনফ্লুয়েন্সড হয়ে, মানে পোস্ট কলোনিয়ালিজম তো আমরা ওই সেম মানে ওই কথা বলছি, যেখানে আমরা বলছি যে কিভাবে কলোনাইজাররা কলোনাইজদেরকে এতদিন অত্যাচারিত করে রেখেছে, সাম কাইন্ড অফ অপারেশন, সাম কাইন্ড অফ এক্সক্লুশন থেকে গেছে, যেখানে তাদেরও ভয়েস শোনা হয়নি। মানে আদার যারা, ওরা ছিল সেলফ, ইউরোপিয়ানরা ছিল সেলফ, হোয়াইটরা যারা ছিল সেলফ, আর এখানে আমরা যে থার্ড ওয়ার্ল্ড থেকে বিলং করছি আমরা হচ্ছি আদার। তো আমাদের এই আদারকে সবসময় আদারাইজিং করে রাখা হয়েছে, আদারকে সবসময় একটা মেন স্ট্রিম থেকে সরিয়ে একটা এন্ডকে গিয়ে রাখা হয়েছে। তো এটাও তো একটা কাইন্ড অফ অপারেশন, এটাও তো একটা কাইন্ড অফ ডিসক্রিমিনেশন হচ্ছে। তো এই তত্ত্বটাকে, এই ডিসক্রিমিনেশনের তত্ত্ব ওই তত্ত্ব ওই ধাঁচাটাকে তুলে এনে এখানে রেখে দিয়েছে, মানে এই ফেমিনিজমের কনসেপ্টে রেখে দিয়েছে। এখানে বলা হয়েছে যে যে আমরা আমাদের মানে এইভাবে হচ্ছে না, আমরা খুব অপ্রেসড, যেটা সেকেন্ড ওয়েভে হচ্ছে আমাদের হচ্ছে না, তো আমাদের একটা সেপারেট ডোমেন চাই, একটা সেপারেট আইডিওলজি চাই, সেপারেট ক্যানন চাই, যেখানে আমরা নিজেদেরকে পুরোপুরিভাবে রেকগনাইজ, পুরোপুরিভাবে নিজেদেরকে আইডেন্টিফাই করতে পারবো। তো দিস ইজ অ্যাবাউট থার্ড ওয়েভ ফেমিনিজম। দ্যাটস ওয়াই এটা হচ্ছে খুব প্লুরাল, এটা হচ্ছে এর বিভিন্ন মানে ভেরিয়াস কাইন্ড অফ ভয়েসেস আর মার্জিং, ভেরিয়াস কাইন্ডস অফ আইডেন্টিটিস আর মার্জিং। তুমি তাই দেখতে পাচ্ছ ব্ল্যাক ফেমিনিজমে, দেখতে পাচ্ছ দলিত ফেমিনিজম, দেখতে পাচ্ছ ইভেন জেন্ডার ফেমিনিজম লাইক লেসবিয়ান ফেমিনিজম দেখতে পাচ্ছ। সো you can say that the emergence of various ideologies, various voices can be heard in this particular wave, the third wave. বোঝা গেল?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, বুঝতে পেরেছি।
আচ্ছা,
হ্যাঁ, সৃজিতা বলছে what is the difference between gender and sex?
yes, this is also very,
yes.
yeah, I think I have already answered, but still if you want that, see, this is if you read Simone de Beauvoir, so she talks about that gender is a social construct, whereas sex is biological. So for the first time, before that, this division was not properly visible. When second wave emerged, second wave comes, and others like Virginia Woolf or others, they understood that sex is biological, whereas gender is very much social. That means gender is socially constructed. Mane it's a kind of performance. The way you behave, the way you stay, the way you talk, the way you the maintain, everything is depend the way society wants from you. So that's why gender, there is no inherent connection between gender and sex, that is biological sex. So that's why তুমি দেখতে পাবে যে আইডিয়াগুলো যে ম্যানলি women or womanly men, এই আইডিয়াগুলো খুব other kind of idea that is very much condemned. So that is the thing you can understand the difference between sex and gender. So that's why the famous quotation you can remember that one is not born as women, rather becomes women. So you have to perform as you are women. So that is the performance, the way you behave, that is the identity of your womanhood. So that identity, that behavior is termed, that behavior is you can say identified by that patriarchy. So তুমি কিভাবে বিহেভ করবে এটাই তোমার পারফরম্যান্স। এটার জন্যই তোমার মানে সেক্সুয়াল আইডেন্টিটি যদি মেল হয়, তোমার যদি বিহেভিয়ার যদি ফিমেল হয়, সো ইউ শুড বি কন্ডেমড। So this is the concept. You are under.
Yes. And I just want to add, yes, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, sure.
I mean, this difference between gender and sex is kind of very elastic right now because, I mean, after the publication of this Gender Trouble by Judith Butler, she exactly. Categorically says that there is no actual difference between gender and sex because biology and this biological construct and the social construct, both are kind of interchangeable.
Exactly.
এরকম আর কিছু difference